Classic heroes, classic villains, and brand new characters who are destined to go down as classic make a big splash in this week's episode of Dragon Ball Super. We are a mere few hours away from the Tournament of Power. It's almost here, guys, but there's still going to be a little bit of building up. This is the episode that, frankly, I was waiting for. Main reason is because we finally get to go around to a number of the different universes in the series. Not only do we get new characters, but we even get to follow up on some big fan favorites from Dragon Ball Super, such as the return of Hit and Frost. I especially love the reintroduction of these characters. I absolutely love the dark, brooding, gothic look of their alien world, which always seems to be constantly misty and always seems to be raining. And I love that Frost, as powerful as he is, actually has to hide like in the alleyways of this futuristic city, almost like something out of Blade Runner, when suddenly he's confronted by Hit. And of course, because Frost is an underhanded fighter, he tries to trick him by utilizing his poison needles, which he has now actually attached to his tail, kind of turning it into like a scorpion's tail. I think it's really awesome. But of course, Hit makes him look like an absolute fool. And the main reason that Hit is even talking to Frost in the first place is because he is trying to recruit the best fighters from their universe to appear in the Tournament of Power. And he reassures Frost that they need his help, and that there is the potential for something good to come of his actual relationship with Hit in the future. It almost seems as if Hit wants to take Frost under his wing and become his very own martial arts master. He sees something in Frost. The problem is, Frost is still kind of an underhanded character and seems to be up to no good. Like it's been said before, it doesn't matter what universe it is, if Frieza has a counterpart there, he's probably going to be an underhanded, despicable villain. We also get a pretty great scene with Sidra and the Trio de Dangers as they're on this planet which has just turned into absolute chaos. There's this group of blue-skinned douchebags with frickin' RPGs who are just destroying the city all around them, and Sidra just annihilates all of them, and he seems really pissed off over the fact that they don't really have a big team of fighters for the tournament. I mean, we know that the Trio de Dangers are going to be there, Bergamo, Lavender, and Basil, but I'm really interested to see what other fighters they're going to get on their team, and in many ways I do like that they're keeping it mysterious. I think it's going to make their introduction in the actual Tournament of Power all that more exciting. There's of course a few other scenes which are just strange in their very own right, such as a scene with Gawas, who is trying to make a very popular GodTube video by having all of the fighters from their universes do this ridiculous dance with their angel attendant cuss. It's just strange, but that's what I really love about Gawas. He's got this childishness to him that's really funny, which is an extreme juxtaposition to his overall design, which makes him come across as just like a typical martial arts master. But like most characters in the actual Dragon Ball world, he's just a real big goofball. Goku and Vegeta are also doing their very own training, with Vegeta returning to the hyperbolic time chamber. I especially love that right before he went in there, Mr. Popo warns him to not destroy it again. And I just love how upfront Mr. Popo is about all of this. I mean, he's a character who's sort of blown up over the years as being like super secretly powerful and always being incredibly intimidating, and this was one of those scenes that I really think played to that aspect of the character, which I thought was really funny. Vegeta just shrugs this off though, and he plans to get some hardcore training in, and Mr. Popo laments over the fact that no matter what he says, chances are Vegeta is probably just gonna blow that fucker up again. Goku is also training with Whis inside of Vegeta's training module, which was created by Bulma. And this is a really important scene. Now, it's very minor, but Goku actually seems to hurt Whis in this episode. It's not through anything really flashy or anything. It's just Whis going through his standard training of making Goku look like a complete and utter fool when he manages to put him in this lock, and Goku actually manages to bite down on his hand and hurt him. It might be just a scene that's played for the laughs and for comedy, but we have to realize that this is like the very first time we've ever seen Whis in pain in the series, and someone actually sort of getting the jump on him, so that's pretty freaking ridiculous. There's also this ridiculous subplot with Master Roshi, where he's going through a brand new training thanks to Puar, the friend of Yamcha. He's getting Puar to transform into a beautiful woman so that he can get over his pervy nature, as he says, and it's just weird, especially the implications which were made by Oolong, where he said he tried to help out in the training, and he transformed into a beautiful woman and actually allowed Master Roshi to Pafu him. Basically, Oolong transformed into a chick and allowed Master Roshi to motorboat him. Saying that out loud is really freaking messed up. However, perhaps my most favorite thing about this episode was the introduction of an incredibly ridiculous character by the name of Brianne de Chateau, who's a character who's actually appeared in the intro of this arc for quite some time. She's that weird Majin Buu-looking female character that's fighting against Vegeta, and she is formally introduced in this episode. She is this alien girl from Universe 2 who's on this planet which is filled with all of these blue-skinned, super masculine-looking women, and she just appears out of nowhere, looking kind of like a normal human, but with green hair. And the gimmick of her character is that she's sort of a parody on the magical girl genre of anime. She's a parody of Sailor Moon in a way. She goes through this big transformation sequence where what's really funny about it is typically in the magical girl genre, they end up wearing like a sailor outfit or something that's incredibly revealing and sexy. Here, she ends up putting on this ridiculous outfit which makes her look like a female version of Majin Buu, and she even has the ability to shoot heart beams, which is just insane. It's such a funny scene, and the transformation sequence is surprisingly well animated. I mean, like I said, it's clearly a play on the magical girl genre, but it's something that's never been done in the Dragon Ball series, and that's why I think I can't wait to see more of her in action and to see how powerful she truly is. And if she actually is going to be having an epic fight with Vegeta at some point in the future, I just think that's going to be a lot of fun. So her introduction was just crazy. So, what's the rundown on this week's episode of Dragon Ball Super? I'm sure there's a few things that I missed in this episode, but ultimately this one right here was basically just more build-up to the tournament, more training, more new characters, which I really do appreciate. I really wish they'd have done more of this universe hopping a little bit more in the previous episodes, as there's so much room for development, and they just keep teasing all these new characters, especially when you look at the preview for the next episode. A lot of them are shrouded completely. You don't actually get any very good looks at them. They're definitely going to have a lot of really big surprises for the tournament when it does roll around. I almost expect there to be an update to the actual intro of the show to sort of reflect everything that is going to be going on, as even in the intro right now, a lot of those characters, you barely get really good looks at them. I also forgot to mention the scene with the Pride Troopers, where you have Toppo and Dispo who are hanging out, and they're at this swanky bar, because that's just what they do in this alien universe, and they're waiting for General Cosarel to come and join them, and he's off doing his own mission. He's so dedicated to justice that he even helps alien cats down from like really high perches to help out these children. Now this scene is really strange. Now, we can assume that they're all pretty powerful from this universe, but like, General Cosarel can't even just fly up there and grab the cat? I don't know, it's a little weird. But even with that, this was a pretty fun episode, and it ended on a pretty good cliffhanger as well. We think that we have all of the fighters for Universe 7, but that might not be the case, as apparently Majin Buu is going to have to be dropped out of the tournament. The main reason for this is that, according to Mr. Satan, after all of his training and eating and ridiculous shit that he's done lately, no way to get him up. I don't know why they're doing this, but trust me, I'm sure it's going to lead to something very surprising. There are already a lot of things and big spoilers out there, especially if you look at the actual descriptions of the episodes, which are released ahead of time. So if you want to spoil yourself, go ahead and go Google search that. I'm not going to talk about it here. I have talked about it before, but I can't wait to see what is actually going to happen in that situation, and who the possibility of who could be joining the tournament in lieu of Majin Buu is going to be. For all we know, it's gonna be Yamcha. Bring back the Wolf Fang Fist. So this was a solid episode of Dragon Ball Super. Good animation, good artwork, really funny scenes, lots of action, getting to spend more times with new characters in the series, a lot of classic ones returning, and just expanding more on this series and making it even grander and larger than it even used to be. And that's a big accomplishment for this series with these characters who are so damn super strong. If you want to expand on the series, expand on the lore in the universe. And that's what they're doing right here in the Universe Survival Arc. So with that, you probably think that I thought that this was a perfect episode. No, it certainly had its flaws. There were a few pacing issues, and some of the artwork was a little strange, and I didn't really care for all of the Master Roshi stuff all that much. It just didn't really go anywhere. It was just there to play it for laughs and to be a little bit of filler. So I'm going to give this episode right here a 4 out of 5. You heard my thoughts about this week's episode of Dragon Ball Super. Make sure to tell me what you thought about it in the comments section below. Do you like the return of Hit and Frost? Do you think Frost is going to betray everyone? What do you want to see from some of the brand new fighters like Brianne de Chateau? What did you think of her magical girl transformation? Do you think we're going to get a lot of characters like that from her universe? Who is going to be joining the Trio de Dangers? What do you want to see from the Tournament of Power arc? Tell me all that, your thoughts on this week's episode in the comments section. Thank you guys for watching this review. I can't thank you enough. Make sure to subscribe to the channel for all things Dragon Ball Super related. Like I said, please leave me a comment telling me what you thought about the episode. If you liked it, you didn't like it, if you want to talk with me about anything, I'm always down for a good conversation. And of course, if you liked this video, please take a second to just hit that like button. It helps out our videos a lot, but if you didn't like the video, you can give it a thumbs down. I'll see you guys next time. And as always, stay dandy, baby.